"20 with the most demonic doll on the planet. You won't sleep after this." It was a grey and windy morning in the heart of Texas when Lily, a 7-year-old girl, unwrapped a birthday present that would change her life. Between the layers of colourful paper emerged Emily, a baby reborn doll with such a penetrating gaze that promised a mysterious silence. Sarah, Lily's mother, watched from a distance with an uncertain smile, while Tom, the father, merely raised his eyebrows at the strange precision of the doll's details. The doll was a gift from Grace, Tom's sister, who mentioned not knowing the exact origin of the toy. Initially, Emily seemed just an innocent doll, participating in Lily's daily games throughout the spacious house amidst the open fields. The sun was setting on the horizon, marking the end of days filled with laughter and running through the hallways. Tom, however, couldn't help but feel a chill whenever he passed Lily's room and saw Emily sitting quietly in a corner with that unchanged expression. He decided to ignore it, attributing his unease to the doll's disconcerting realism. Already in the first week, strange incidents began. Sarah woke up in the middle of the night hearing a soft music coming from Lily's room, something that sounded like a lullaby. Upon entering to check, she found only Lily sleeping deeply, with Emily in her arms, while the rest of the room sank into silence. Thinking it was the product of her imagination or an unfinished dream, Sarah returned to bed without commenting anything to Tom, hoping it was all just a misunderstanding. The weirdness continued. Flickering lights, soft footsteps in the hallways at night, and whispers that dissolved in the air whenever someone tried to locate them. Emily, curiously, seemed to always be in slightly different positions in the morning, as if moving on her own during the night. Tom swore he had left the doll in one place and found her in another, but decided not to worry Sarah with these observations, believing it was just Lily moving her before bed. One night, while the storm howled outside, Tom stayed up late working in his office. He was absorbed in numbers when the light flickered and went out. In the brief moment of darkness, a soft, almost imperceptible laugh floated towards him from somewhere nearby. The chill he felt was immediate, and even being a rational man, the sensation of being watched became irresistible. He lit a flashlight, his thoughts returning to Emily. At breakfast the next morning, Lily enthusiastically claimed that Emily had told her a beautiful story during the night. When questioned, Lily couldn't remember many details, only that it included invisible friends and a house that walked. Tom and Sarah exchanged glances, trying to reduce their concerns in front of Lily, but a shadow of doubt increasingly permeated their home. Reality was dangerously mixing with fantasy. The nights became a field of palpable tension. The sound of small hands tapping on the glass was what woke Sarah one early morning. Upon investigating the living room, she found all windows intact, but Emily was mysteriously staring at the door, her damned eyes glowing under the moonlight. Sarah decided she had endured enough. The idea that a doll was playing with her mind was absurd, but it was the only constant in these strange occurrences. Tom was also beginning to become more alarmed. He remembered his conversation with Grace and decided to investigate further into Emily's origin. He discovered that the doll came from a garage sale in the neighboring town, whose owner, now deceased, was famous for his peculiar collection of ancient items and, the town rumors said, possessed objects. Without further delay, Tom tried to contact people who might know more about the doll, but all his attempts fell into a silent and disturbing void. Recurring nightmares followed for Sarah. She dreamed of a house made of dolls, where Emily guided Lily through endless corridors of hollow and whitish faces. She would wake up with her heart racing, while the silence of the night seemed to thicken around her. Faced with these terrible visions, Sarah began to convince Tom to abandon the doll, but whenever they mentioned getting rid of Emily, Lily would burst into tears, as if her best friend was being attacked. The various attempts to move Emily resulted in frustration. It seemed that every time they tried to forget, the doll somewhere, she mysteriously returned to her original place in the house. The situation between Tom and Sarah was beginning to wear down. The tension reflected in their conversations and patience grew shorter each day, until one day Sarah found old letters hidden in the attic that spoke about a cursed doll driven by an eternal desire for companionship. These letters spoke of a boy who had felt isolated, trapped between different worlds, always seeking friendship to dispel his eternal loneliness. With her skin crawling, Sarah realized that Emily seemed to yearn for the same connection with Lily. The doll was not just a toy, but a link capable of connecting the world of the living with something far beyond their comprehension. The story was clear. Unless the doll was accepted, she would never leave the house in peace. Determined to end the strangeness, Tom and Sarah organized a farewell ritual for Emily with the help of Pastor Whitfield, a man who had heard strange stories throughout the city. The house was charged with electricity while the pastor performed the prayer, but at the moment he began his invocation, a supernatural wind swept through the rooms, extinguishing candles and whispering forgotten words. Emily seemed to smile in response, as if playing her last card. Fear finally took shape when the next morning Lily seemed to change. Her words, the same ones Emily had murmured in calm moments of the night, echoed through breakfast. "She is always with me," she said. Tom, with a growing panic, realized that the doll was not a mere object, but a presence that had chosen to make Lily her final link. Despair increased as the family fought against an invisible enemy, invisible but always present. On a rainy night, Sarah, exasperated, held Emily and screamed amidst the wind and thunder. The lights went out, plunging the house into darkness. A macabre laugh from far away echoed through the walls, a sound definitely different from any human. With eyes wide with shock, Tom held Lily firmly, while Sarah, full of determination, threw Emily into the improvised bonfire in the backyard. Accompanied by the growing fire, a shadow slipped from the doll, disappearing into the stormy sky. The doll, now consumed by the fire's force, demonstrated signs of her power, with crackling and sparks that threatened everything around her. But at the instant, Emily fragmented into ashes. The atmosphere changed. The sound of crickets and wind gusts seemed comforting again, and the strange energy hovering over the house finally dissolved. The sensation of oppression and terror gave way to a serene void. Emily was finally destroyed. With the dawn, Tom and Sarah's home recovered its former serenity. Although Lily did not explicitly ask about Emily, a shadow of remembrance remained in the child's mind. She instinctively knew something strange had been present, but was now gone. The parents, relieved but still vigilant, decided never to mention the doll again, taking care that the calm atmosphere would not be disturbed again. The family finally decided to move forward, allowing the sun to shine again on their lives. Sarah made sure natural light entered every corner of the house, while Tom began to plant a small garden, a symbol of rebirth and protection. Although the ground where Emily had remained had become fertile soil for new flowers, they would never forget the creature that had tried to draw them into an unknown world full of shadows. Emily's story became a whisper in the town, a legend to be told with caution. For the O'Connors, they now knew that the unknown could manifest in the most common and seemingly harmless objects. They learned to respect the mysteries that came with unexpected gifts, and more than ever, they valued the protection and peace of their home. And so, caught between the past and the present, Tom, Sarah, and Lily moved forward, overshadowed by a memory of old horrors and renewing themselves with hopes for the future. The wind continued to blow across the Texas plains, carrying with it the faint echo of a story that would be told in hushed tones around fireplaces and during late-night gatherings. The doll was gone, but the memory remained, a chilling reminder that some gifts come with a price far beyond what the eye can see. In the years that followed, Lily would occasionally wake from dreams where Emily's eyes seemed to follow her, a silent promise of a connection that transcended life and death. Tom and Sarah would exchange knowing glances, their shared secret binding them closer together, a testament to the night they defeated something beyond their understanding. The house stood as a silent witness to their ordeal, its walls holding the memories of that terrifying time. The garden Tom planted flourished, its flowers a stark contrast to the darkness that had once resided within their home. Life moved forward, but the shadow of Emily remained, a whisper, a memory, a warning. And so the legend grew, passed from one generation to another, a cautionary tale about a doll that was more than just a toy, about a family that faced the unknown and survived. The O'Connors' story became a part of local folklore, a reminder that in the vast, quiet expanses of Texas, not everything is as it seems.